On February 26th and 27th, 2018, Stanford University held a Digital Cities Summit covering disruptive technologies relating to infrastructure. Jim Beddoes was a featured speaker at the summit and is the CEO of TDP. Jim Beddoes' topic was the global pipeline of startups, the canary in the innovation coal mine. The goal was to provide a real-time data-driven approach for corporations to go from trends to proof of concepts. The talk was titled, Harnessing the Global Pipeline of Startups. TDP works with Global 2000 corporations providing a managed service to accelerate innovation for financial impact. TDP's original insight was that consumers could get data-driven, personalized insights in real time. Consumers could get real-time advice for media, finance, and health. At the same time, corporations did not. So what if a corporation could have a personalized lens with custom filters to look across the pipeline of 10 to 20,000 VC-backed startups around the world to gain real-time innovation insights? What if that lens could be expanded to include the 1 to 2 million pre-VC-backed startups around the world? What if that lens could be further expanded to include the millions of dead startups around the world, because even if the startup may be dead, may have had a good idea? This would allow the corporation to harness the global pipeline of startups to crowdsource innovation insights at scale in real time. That could be personalized as hyper-customized trend reports, structured databases of highly tailored specific types of startups, with each startup being evaluated, scored, and ranked in real time using customized algorithms, so that startups could be combined with specific corporate capacity to create whole new businesses and services. TDP allows its clients to do this by following specific stepwise processes to create these various insights. For example, to generate new business concepts with its clients, TDP first identifies and qualifies addressable pain points. TDP then analyzes the root causes of the pain point. Next, TDP searches for solutions across millions of startups to potentially address the root causes, to combine them so that the whole is greater than the sum of the parts, so that the potential solution can then be tested. TDP combines the best of artificial intelligence and human decision-making, because robots and computers don't have intuition, but they are very good with probabilities, while humans have intuition but are generally not so good at probabilities. Combining these provides for augmented human decision-making. So how do you distill hundreds of billions of data points down to a new business concept? TDP has joined and normalized databases and data sets into a super aggregated, structured database with millions of startups and hundreds of billions of data points, and then unstructured it. Only at the time when a client has a specific data request, TDP will then use AI and human intelligence to constrain the database to optimize the signal-to-noise ratio. This creates a just-in-time structured database of tens of thousands of startups with millions of data points. TDP's customized algorithms then evaluate, score, and rank the tens of thousands of startups instantly. This creates a just-in-time AI-curated, ranked, and scored list of highly relevant startups that human analysts can then further refine and curate to then combine a small number of complementary startups into a new business concept. This creates just-in-time customized insights in real time for financial impact. EBITDA and financial metrics generally don't make sense for most startups because they don't have EBITDA. In any case, financial metrics are lagging indicators after the fact. Instead, look at leading innovation indicators. Look at the startup's ability to survive and to execute, because a startup is a melting ice cube that is on the clock. Relying on just one startup for a solution can be risky, because corporations have a certain scale and pace of doing things that is very different from a startup's. So it's better to have backup options ready. Global 2000 corporations are specifically asking TDP to identify the emerging technologies from other adjacent industry verticals. They are asking for the emerging technologies that Gartner Research had not yet written about for application in their own industry vertical. To do this, TDP discovers adjacencies by overlapping technologies, use cases, geographies, and/or markets in real time. For example, there are 800 startups focused on smarter city technologies around the world. There are 650 startups focused on advanced materials. There are 2 startups that are focused on both smarter city technology and advanced materials. There are 1,100 startups around the world focused on technologies to deal with disasters. There are 23,000 startups focused on artificial intelligence. There are 19 that are doing both. There are 73,000 startups around the world focused on healthcare and medical. There are 3,300 startups focused on blockchain. There are 98 doing both. TDP can provide customized real-time insights on trends. For example, this is blockchain's melting ice cube. This shows a rapidly declining number of newly formed startups that are focused on blockchain. TDP can provide a global competitive landscape in real time. For example, TDP met with a sovereign wealth fund in Tokyo that was focused on investing in startups doing food, fashion, and media. They didn't know how many startups in Japan that were focused on fashion. TDP showed them that there were 63. We then thought it would be interesting to see if any startups in Japan were doing both fashion and AI. There were 69 AI startups in Japan, and 1 startup doing both. We then compared this to the United Kingdom. There were 10 times as many startups in each category. TDP works with its clients on a monthly basis to generate these data-driven insights. First, TDP will meet with the client to discuss its objectives to generate insights for the month. This could include the CEO and/or corporate functions such as planning, strategy, R&D, corporate development, business development, M&A, sales, business units, and tech scouts from the client. The client has access to TDP's platform to generate its own data-driven insights. At the same time, TDP will generate data-driven insights on behalf of the client. TDP has conducted over 3,500 of these searches with Global 2000 corporations over the last 12 months. In doing so, TDP has recognized patterns, trends, and blind spots that its corporate clients consistently fall into with the data. And as such, TDP can help its clients account for and overcome these patterns and blind spots. TDP will then meet with the client to review what insights and data TDP's platform has generated. Next, the client will choose what machine-generated insights and data that it wants TDP's human analysts to do a deeper dive on. This process yields insights for the month and accelerates the client's rate of innovation. This process is then repeated month over month. and augments human decision-making to accelerate the rate of innovation. TDP cannot show you the new concepts it's generated for its clients because they're proprietary. However, what I can show you is this. Daikin Industry is the largest heating, ventilation, and air conditioning company in the world and is a member of this summit. Daikin Industries asked TDP to provide them a hypothetical new business concept to demonstrate TDP's process. With only guidance from Daikin being that it conditioned the air for human benefit, first TDP identified a pain point. TDP identified Alzheimer's disease as a trillion-dollar pain point in the US and a huge problem around the world for countries with aging populations. Next, TDP conducted a root cause analysis of the pain point. TDP identified poor sleep as one of the root causes for Alzheimer's disease. TDP then used its platform to search across millions of startups for potential solutions to address poor sleep. TDP used a combination of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and human intelligence to evaluate, score, and rank the startups with the best potential to help address poor sleep. TDP then combined the startups with Daikin along with potential B2B2C ecosystem partners. This produced an ecosystem map and demonstrated TDP's process to generate new business concepts in real time. This is the ecosystem map that TDP generated for Daikin Industries, in which the whole is exponentially greater than the sum of the parts. There are three components to this ecosystem map, including a feedback loop, potential solutions, and end users. The feedback loop includes startups that generate, store, and evaluate data. Aware is a startup that tracks the quality of the air in a room so that it can be better conditioned. 8 is a smart mattress startup that tracks how a person sleeps through the night. Spire is a wearable startup that tracks your biometrics in the room. Unified Cloud is a startup that will take the data from the bedroom and store it in the cloud for analysis. On the solution side, Glowing Plant is a startup that provides genetically altered plants for softer backlighting in a bedroom. Quiet Time is a startup that uses technology to neutralize noise pollution while you are sleeping. Biome is a startup that uses plants and technology in the planters to condition the air. EcoVent is a startup that filters the air at the vent level. And the solution side would include Daikin Air Conditioning. Given sales channel complexities, TDP recommended that a pull strategy may be more successful than a push strategy. These are potential B2B2C candidates to pursue a pull strategy. ARP is the American Association of Retired People, and its members would probably be very interested in this type of solution. Blue Cross Blue Shield is a health insurance company that may be very interested in this type of solution. Merrill Lynch and its private banking group may be interested in this type of solution for its wealthy individual clients. D.R. Horton is the #1 home builder in the U.S. who might be interested in incorporating this solution into the homes it builds. And then there is Daikin Industries as a member of the ecosystem. This is another example of a hypothetical new business concept demonstrating TDP's process. This example deals with heart attacks, which is another trillion-dollar pain point. One of the root causes of heart attack is the microbes in your gut. Ubiome is a startup that will map your gut microbiome for medical analysis. A medical center could then medically diagnose the microbiome map. This startup can create custom microbes for your gut based on your medical diagnosis. Vital is a startup that provides a personalized nutrition delivery system, which could include a delivery of custom microbes. For an ecosystem that's based on a pull model with B2B2C, this could include the Self-Insurance Institute of America. 82% of corporations in America are either partially or wholly self-insured for medical. These are some of its members. And the ecosystem could also include medical centers like Stanford's or USC's. The third hypothetical new business concept deals with disasters, either man-made or natural. This is a picture of the wildfires in Sonoma, California. D.E. Shaw is a computational biology research center that could be used to analyze an ecosystem in advance. This is a basic research paper on self-healing organizing networks that could be applied to the ecosystem solution. These entities could form a feedback loop. This startup produces advanced warning sensors that could provide early warning in advance of a pending disaster. BAE produces military spider bots that can go into areas either during or after a disaster where humans cannot go. BAE is an example of how TDP will combine into these new business concepts and ecosystem maps not only startups but also large corporations, basic research, and other entities including institutes and research centers. This is a startup that provides drones that can fly into an area during and after a disaster to assess the situation where humans cannot go. This startup provides data networks on the fly that are secured by artificial intelligence and that can be deployed during or after a disaster. Members of an ecosystem based on a pool model could include FEMA, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, Tesla, AT&T, and AWS. Just as Global 2000 corporations are increasingly trying to close their respective innovation gaps through startups, there's increasing interest by public-private consortiums wanting to do the same. They want to harness a global pipeline of startups to help address the growing number of socio-economic pain points. This is based on TDP's discussions in Japan, in Canada, and in the USA. Given that the pace of innovation, of science, of technology, of commercialization, and of industry continues to accelerate, the key questions are these. How fast and how many novel new viable business concepts can you generate? How fast and how many novel new viable business concepts can you test? Thank you.